Hey y'all, I wanted to come on here to talk about something. Um, I'm watching this thing on TikTok where it says Instagram model goes broke after spiritual journey. And let me see what else it says. Hold on, let me see what it says. It says Instagram model goes broke after spiritual journey and instantly regrets it. I don't know what's going on with it, but from what it was showing is basically how I'm taking it. It's an Instagram model who is an Instagram model. She said she feel like she was forced into her relationship with God, basically having a relationship with God because of the person she was with. That's what she said, but then when she was walking the walk, she made a statement saying that it was just something on the inside of her. So it's like it totally changed up. But I guess right now she's not. She was talking about how basically what she does is her career, and she feel like she shouldn't have to give that up or something. But that boils down to what I've been trying to say. We as Christians have been allowing Satan to deceive us to a point that we're willing to compromise our faith and our relationship with God for things that we know that don't represent him, for things that we know we shouldn't be doing. When you know better, you do better. But what I'm trying to get at is, if she had really accepted God into her life, if she had really gotten to that point to accept God in her life, what she don't realize is that she have just made it hard on herself by turning back to the sin. People don't realize that once you turn back to your sin, after leaving sin to go to God, you make things 10 times worse for yourself. So you might as well just stay where you at. Once you come over here to the side where God is, you might as well just stay over here and ride out the waves of the wilderness, ride out the waves of the struggle, all of that. Because once you go back into sin after being over here with God, in the Bible somewhere it says that though that demon that you supposedly got delivered from, it will return back. And when it finds that you are now just an empty vessel waiting to be filled with something because you have now taken off the armor of God and you have unarmed yourself with what was protecting you, and that's God. Now he going to get his homeboys, his crew, and everybody else, and they coming back with vengeance to take you out. They're coming back, and they coming back harder than what it was. 7 more demons, more hellish than the one that left you, is about to run you through there. And you have unarmed yourself with the armor of God that was there to protect you. And for what? Because your money was running low? Because things started hitting you hard and you couldn't handle it? That's why people got to understand why I feel like God don't bless you immediately when you pray for something. He don't give you what you want immediately, because God got to know he can trust you. The minute things got hard for that girl, she got out of there and went back like Peter did to what was familiar, what he felt worked for him. Why would God want to bless somebody like that? To know that soon as he blessed them, and things get hard, they gonna turn their back on him. I'm gonna be honest, testing, trials, and wilderness season don't feel good. Don't feel good. But as I continue to grow with God and walk with God, and him continue to reveal things to me with just him and messages and stuff, I'm glad, because they're changing me. They're helping me to fall away from the old me, the old habits, all of that, to become the new person that God has for me to be. It's crazy, but the Bible talks about it. People are going to stray away from the faith, but I'm just in my mind like, for what? Ain't nothing out there. It's nothing out there. Nothing. Nothing. Even in seeing all of this stuff, yeah, it looks good, but it's almost like when you're grounded in God and you have a relationship with him, it's like you see past the money, you see past the cars, you see past the trips, you see past all of that, to the point that these people are still unhappy. Yeah, they have all of these nice things, but what is the point of having all of that when you still empty inside, when you still are hurting inside, when you're still miserable, when your soul is miserable? What is the point of having all of that? What is the point of being able to pay all your bills? And Lord, no, I want to pay them. But you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be unhappy. I don't want to be unhappy anymore. I don't want to be going through things. I want to be able to, yes, pay my bills and still have the joy of the Lord. But if I can choose, now I can say this, because I have given it completely to him. I have given my finances to him, because before I probably would have been like, I want to be able to pay my bills. But now I want to be able to pay my bills, and I want to be able to be comfortable in my spirit and in my soul. And the only way that I'm going to be able to be that way is giving my life and everything that surrounds me and consumes me to God. To God. God ain't mean for us to live a wealthy life, but we feel like trash on the inside. That don't even go together. If you gonna live a kingdom life, a life of wealth, that should include having the joy of the Lord that only God can give you. Because no amount of money, no amount of status can make you happy. It can't. You're going to always be in search for the next best thing to make you feel good. Not really realizing that at some point that feel good juice going to run out. And you just going to keep searching. Just like an addict. They looking for that first high that they had, which they will never get. But that's why they keep trying different drugs, because they searching for that first high that they got. But if you try Jesus, if you make your drug of choice Jesus, and truly keen in to him and who he is and who you are in him, baby, you'll be so willing to overdose on him till you won't even care what people think. You won't care how they look at you. Let Jesus be your drug of choice. Let him be the only drug that you're willing to overdose on and look a fool for. But yeah, that's something. I was just like, wow, like people don't realize like you only making it worse on yourself. To leave sin, find God, turn your back on him, and go back into the sin that you once were in for whatever reason. For whatever reason. But from what it seems like, she got into this situation because she said how people were saying like, oh, you'll never be a wife because of this and just certain things. So I guess because the person who she was with didn't wipe her up, maybe. She was like, the hell with it. But people have to realize that maybe that wasn't the person for her. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. And then maybe that was just the first test that God gave her. And it's sad to know that she failed. She failed the first time go round. She failed and flew the coop. Gone back to what she found that was familiar and worked for her. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. But I pray that people understand that if God had to suffer, we gonna have to suffer. If Jesus had, who was blameless of sin, had to get on that cross and suffer the torture that he suffered to free us from sin, oh yeah, we gonna go through it. We gonna be taken through the ringer. We gonna be taken through the ringer. But you have to be willing to suffer in order to get to the other side of pure joy and pure freedom. And until you are willing to suffer for Jesus the way that he suffered for you, you gonna be unhappy no matter how you look on the outside. The inside of you will never be happy, will never experience real joy, real peace, real happiness. So understand that coming over here to the other side where Jesus lives ain't no walk in the park. You gonna go through some stuff. Your father had to go through some stuff to free you up. So in that, he wants to know that he can then trust you to walk this walk with him. And that you're not just in it to get something. Because like I keep saying, which this should be common sense by now, we can fool each other as humans, but you can't fool the one who created you. God knows what's in your heart. He sees what we don't see in each other. We can fool each other and have each other thinking one thing when we really mean another. But you can't do that with God. It's crazy because people think they can fool God. They think they can fool God. They think they can get by on him and he bless them without him knowing that they really don't want what he has to offer. Y'all need to get it in your head. God ain't no fool, baby. He ain't no dummy. He ain't no dummy. He the smartest one you will ever come across. He's smarter than the smartest woman on earth. Remember, he's the one that gave them the brains that they have. He's the one that allowed them to have the status that they have in life. He's the one that has allowed you. Because what people don't realize is Satan can't give you nothing or do anything without God say so. He can't. Satan gives gifts too. But even in that, he can't give you nothing that God hasn't allowed him to give you. So for her to leave Jesus, to go back because she say that was her career. That career that you had that's making you money in your sin, God had to give Satan the okay to give that to you. To allow you to have that. So if God was the reason, the real reason why you got it, why you go back again? Why would you go back again into sin? If the one who gave you the gift had to get permission, he had to get permission from somebody to be able to give you these gifts. But see, in Satan giving you gifts, he have motives behind it. But when God give you a gift, he give it because he love you. People you gotta do better. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. But I'm gonna get off of here. I just wanted to come on here and say something, hoping that it helps somebody, because remember, it's not the video, it's the message in the video. So just think sometimes. Please think. Because God can strip you from everything whenever he get ready. Whenever he get ready. It's nothing that you don't have that God don't sign off on. Even if you're a person that's an atheist and you don't believe in God, but you wealthy, you gotta realize that God gave the okay for you to have what you have. God did. Satan had to go to God about that. He can't give you nothing. He can't do nothing without God say so. Love yourself better than what you say you love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you will grab hold of Jesus. If you love yourself, you wouldn't leave sin to go to Jesus and then turn your back on Jesus to go back to sin. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But until next time, y'all, I will see y'all later, and enjoy your Wednesday. Bye-bye.